I said last was, these Edomites, they think they're going to starve us out. They're out of their ass. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to take everything from them and give it to us. Just like he did with the Egyptians. Alright? He took everything from them. Their wealth, their livelihood, their manhood. He took even their God status. He was destroying them on all levels of life. Alright, that's what's going to happen in this time when the Israelites come out of this slavery, which we're at the end. We're at the very end. Biden just signed an executive order to bring forth the cryptocurrency, which we know that pertains to the MOTB of Revelation 13, 16, 17, and 18, which they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling, which is a micro CHIP that they're going to inject inside your body, all right, and make it mandatory for buying and selling. So they got vain imaginations. Vain means worthless. Nothing that's going to come to pass. Go ahead, Nicole.
And I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you.
Right. So he had the prophets there, just like now. You got plagues hitting America. Right? You got pestilence, disease. You got rodents invading everything. You got, the other day I saw a video of this couple, Edomite couple in the pool making love. Guess what gets in there with them? A freaking alligator. And it bit the lady. The husband jumped out, left the lady in, and because he was closer, so he just jumped out right away. And then it looked like a little alligator, like a little Canaan alligator, but it was fast. And the water, once it got in the water, it was like she couldn't outswim it and got in her leg. And then the husband was trying to fight it.
Oh, in the water?
Yeah, it was attacking him just recently.
It's tough.
Right. So this place is plagued now. Yeah. There is no more peace here. Your mirth is fading. The mirth is your happiness, your celebration. They told me the other day, where's all the St. Patrick's decorations? Where was all the Valentine decorations? Where is all these things that comfort these Egyptians today? Right? Where is their celebration? Remember, when they had us in slavery, just like the Egyptians, what do? We built golden cities.
Yeah.
So that makes you happy when you get all this wealth to them. Like in that movie, the Django, remember when he had all those women, the one they called Daddy? And he killed the guys in there, whipped that one and then killed him, and he had the blue uniform on. That Edomite, he had all those Jake women calling him Daddy. It was pretty much a whole farm. Well, in that movie, they were showing the enjoyment they had with us. They were rich. The Edomites back in the actual beginning of slavery was way more wealthier than the heathen today.
Yeah.
Remember, these houses were handmade, carved. They had carvings that were majestic, right? The Israelite woman was at their when they were looking good. They had their hair, right? Still had a nice body. Now look at the Jake women now. You got bald-headed bitches, obese, right? So Esau don't have his kingdom like he has it back in the day. See? And that's what happened with Pharaoh. When we were working, kept our head down, guess what? He had it made in the shade. But when your slaves stand up and start to say, hey, I gotta go, guess what? Your fun comes to an end. And then you got prophets, starting with Moses. Moses was already on this Babylon. Remember, King David was King Masha. Moses is King Masha, King David. See, so he's already been here and prophesied just like he did in the land of Egypt. Go ahead, Nicole.
You that I may lay my hand upon Egypt and bring forth my armies and my people the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by great judgment.
Right? He called us armies. What is an army? It's a military.
Yeah.
That's why they enslaved us. Why did the Egyptians enslave us? Remember, he said, hey, they're too many. They might grow and then become an army.
Right.
And then join our enemies and come up against us. Why? Because they're a superpower. Just like America today. America is a superpower. See? And they know who we are. They know we're the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world, look like the heathens, grew up like a heathen, just like Moses. But what came to pass is the truth came to pass. And now we're standing on our feet prophesying, and it makes all these heathen afraid. Just like it made Pharaoh afraid in Egypt. Go ahead.
That was 4 there.
Okay, now jump to, where were we at? 11.
Oh, wait a minute.
Actually, go to Matthew now. And then we'll go back to Exodus.
I'll go to Matthew.
Matthew.
Let's see here. Matthew what?
And 3. 24. Chapter 24, verse 3.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Right.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
The end is not yet because they haven't brought out the MOTB, right? The implantable microchip that they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. Go ahead.
For nations shall rise against nation, and kingdoms against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences.
Right now, is there not famines? There's a food crisis. Hey, China just spoke out against America mistreating the Israelites.
Right.
The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. America has now become, pretty much in the sight of the world, a third world country overnight. You know what they used to do to China? And they still do it? But yesterday it changed, the table rotated. Remember they used to always say, hey, China doesn't treat its people right. It's a communist country. That's what China is doing to America now.
Yeah.
So the tables have turned.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Biden signed his executive order by the orders of the elite to bring forth that MOTB. That's why he was throwing up the sign of the devil at the State of his Union, all right? And he was speaking in code, pretty much saying, put the bill on my desk and let's go to work. What's he talking about? Killing Jake.
Yeah.
All right? They're going to bring down the hammer knowing that they have but a short time.
Right.
Because all these prophecies are being fulfilled. And anybody can look it up, Google it. The guy from Rethink the Dollar, he's a Jake, but he talks more about the money. He brought up a chart, and he said every time there's a change of power, which that's what this is, right? There's always biblical events, right? Well, just like now, we're going through a transition. Everybody thinks, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Russia and China? Is America going to come back from fighting the world? You're about to fight every country in the world, right? Because all these countries are going united under Russia.
Yeah.
They said China, and China controls Africa, right. So Africa's going with China to Russia, India, right? I know. I've been there. South Asia, Philippines, all those countries. Russia's already in there. See, so who's it going to be? But in reality, it's going to be the Israelites.
Right.
We're going to rule under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and it's going to start with King David.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nicole.
And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
Which is happening. Pestilences is disease, all right, coming on the backs of pest. All right, there's disease. The other one, earthquakes in diverse places. Google it. You can see it for yourself. This is happening all over the world.
Yeah.
We're in the last days. You're in the last days. Closer than you know, but still far away enough to where you will think, oh, it's going to go forever.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, I'm going to have to go through this life forever. I'm going to have to retire at this job. That ain't going to happen. All right? According to the prophecies, that ain't going to happen. This generation is going to see the end. They're going to see Yahushai's return. And they don't know what they're about to witness. The earth is about to shake. The noise, just think of the noise that destruction of America is going to create. Boom! You know when they show the bombs go off and there's like a shockwave that goes out?
Yeah.
You know how people in the distance, they're not expecting it, but it's like, BAM! Like a whip hitting you. Like a sound of, like a whip made out of sound just cracking against you.
Wind, huh?
Yeah. A destroying wind. That wind will destroy these too. Your eardrums.
Oh.
Shit. Pop your eyes because they're your organs because they're a soft substance. You know? Just like sound could break glass, it could break a body. Go ahead, Nicole.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
We're in Jacob's trouble. Now it's going to climax to the epitome of what the Lord said it was going to be. Where if the Lord don't shorten the days, no flesh will be saved. Go ahead.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right. You'll be hated of all nations. Why? Because we're telling them their destruction at the same time. They're trying to build their kingdom, and they're gonna. It says they're gonna be in straits. As we're telling them, we're like standing over them talking shit, and they're over there working real hard trying to get something going, and we're laughing at them. We're telling them right here through these videos, being on the highways and the byways.
Right. Speaking about their destruction.
They're coming to us for the answers. The elite are.
Yeah.
See?
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Right, because they're going to persecute us, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to cause them to kill each other. That's in Revelation 17. On top of it, he's going to have his hand in the slaughter too, Yahushua. Isaiah 63 and 1. 2nd Ezra 13. All right. All these scriptures talk about him, Yahushua, coming and at the same time destroying the heathen and their kingdom, which the elite are going to escape into bunkers to be brought out and put into slavery. Now go back to that. That was just for the prophecies of now, but go back to that Exodus. What was it? 11. I believe you.
Let's see, verse 1 you said?
No, you already get down to verse. Start at 3.
At 3? Okay, yeah. Okay, here we go. Exodus chapter 7, verse 3. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth my armies and my people, the children of Israel.
Right, so everybody says, why don't he let you go, right? Why don't he just do what's right? You just read, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. No one is doing free will. See, the Lord is controlling it all through his son Yahushua. He's controlling the elite and the elect. Go ahead.
Out of the land of Egypt my great judgments, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
So the Lord is making, go to Romans 9. All right. America is modern day Egypt. All right. And the elite, not just Biden. Biden is not even really an elite. He's a puppet.
Yeah.
He's a meat puppet. But for the actual rulers in the back, the bankers, all right, which really are Amalek Edomites, the small hatters, the counterfeits, you know, the ones that have the ability to print money out of nowhere. Those Edomites, all right, yeah, those are the ones that are going to be saved through the destruction. But they're the ones that refuse to let us go. Your average Edomite don't even know who we are until we start preaching. They thought we were just niggas and spicks. See? But now that we're coming back into remembrance of who we are, we're reminding you of who you are. You're the son of perdition. But see, you'd be better if you let us go, but the Lord ain't going to allow you to do that. It just said he made you as the Egyptians did. He had the Pharaoh not let us go so that the Lord would be just in destroying them. And the whole reason he wanted to destroy them was so that he could show his power on those heathen. Go ahead, Nicole.
This is Romans chapter 9. Did you say verse 1?
We'll read it 1 down to verse 4, and then we'll jump.
I say, this is Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren.
Right, so he was ready to die for his brothers. If I could die right now and just get it over with, just like Yahushua did for us, I would do the same thing.
My kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of power and the promises.
Right, for all those things that come through the Spirit. Go ahead. And you should expect that. It says in the scriptures to desire spiritual gifts, desire spiritual powers. Look for them in your life. It's happening, brothers. You know, I'm speaking on this through experience. This actually came to me through the Spirit, and I was looking in my life for miracles and the way they happen. You know, you pray for things, but you must wait. And not wait in bitterness, but wait in hope, which is expectation. When you go into that word hope, hope means to expect it to happen.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom are, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came.
Right. So Yahushua HaMashiach came for who? The Israelites. Go ahead.
Who is over all power, blessed forever. Khan. That's 5 there.
Right, now go to 11.
It's Romans 9, chapter 9, verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of power according to election.
Right, so they're talking about Jacob and Esau. They're twin brothers, but before they were even made, the Lord had this planned out, that he would love Jacob and hate Esau. It's all by the ordained power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And it's about to tell you what. It's because he wants to show power. Just like Jake, you know, they get money, what do? They want to show they have money. They display it. Well, Yahweh has power. And so he shows his power every day. That's why he had his son decorate the earth. Even though it's in a low state, it's still beautiful. It's because the power of Yahweh
according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elders shall serve the younger.
Okay, so this is a point on Passover. All right? We're to take all the leaven out of the house. All right? Now, you got to remember, when you go to the Passover, look for all the leaven that you find throughout the Passover. Or unleavened bread, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Which is, you got Passover, and then from that night, you go till the next Sabbath, no leaven, no yeast in your meal. But guarantee you find it. The reason why is because we're so corrupted, our works can't save us. We're not saved by work. You're saved by faith. Alright? And our faith actually is what is inspiring us through the Holy Spirit to confess our faith, which makes us actually, that's our profession, is to prophesy. Alright? But we do these, we rehearse these righteous acts of keeping the Passover, removing the leaven from our house, just like keeping a beard, no sex on Sabbath, to show our faith. That's the works of our faith. Alright? Go ahead. Because like Bruce Lee said, there's a movie part with Bruce Lee, and he's showing a kid, a disciple of his, like that, to the moon. The moon always represents time and wisdom. Alright? So when he was doing that, he was telling a secret, like giving out a gem, you know? And remember the young disciple, he's looking at the finger, and he smacks him on his head and says, don't look at the finger, or else you'll miss all the glory of heaven.
Right.
Well, that's what's happening with Israel. They're looking at the finger and missing all the glory that comes with Yahweh Ba'Shem Now Shine.
Yep.
See, the finger says to do this, do that, don't shave your beard. But some brothers can't grow a beard. So does that make them break the law? No, because we're not saved by the law. See? We're saved by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and we're saved by faith in Him and His Son Yahushai. Alright? But like doing the leaven, you know leaven's in the air you breathe?
Oh yeah.
And the Lord knows that. He's the one that put it there. Alright? Which I'm not telling anybody not to, remove the leaven. If you know the whole doing of the Passover, and you keep it, hey, keep it in a righteous spirit, because it's a dreadful thing to fall into the hand of the Lord. But now, don't get caught up on the finger of trying to keep the commandment when you're imperfect. Focus on the meaning behind the doing of what He's commanded you to do. There's something deeper than just taking the cereal out the house, taking out the bread out the house. There's a deeper meaning to it. Alright? And that meaning is to examine yourself. You're the house of the Lord. What leaven is inside your house? Remove that hypocrisy. Remove all those things that are disgusting to the Lord. And how do you do that? You've put something else in its place, which is this truth. You put the truth in the place of that. And really, it got to be preordained for you to be saved in the first place. But that's what the thing is. The Lord wants you to pretty much love Him and His Father with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. See? So that's what it's about. It's not, it is, like when we go into the kingdom of heaven and we keep these holy days, we're going to keep them to the perfect. But in this world, in this wicked state, in these corrupt bodies, you're not going to be able to get everything out of your house. You think you will, but the Lord will show you. And the reason He does this is to show you that you can't save yourself. This is why we need Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was that lamb that was sacrificed for us. He's that lamb. And through him do we overcome. That's what the lamb represented at the Passover. When they put that blood of that lamb on the door, that was Yahweh. That was a prophecy, an omen of Yahweh Shai coming and delivering us. Alright? The blood on the door.
Yep.
What's the door? The door is those are the Israelites. You got Judah and Jerusalem. And together, we're going to come together at the end. We were together at the heading, and we're going to come together at the end. Ezekiel 37. We're standing on our feet and we're prophesying. Go ahead.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Right, so it's already preordained. Jacob he loves, Esau he hates. Now jump down to verse 17.
Okay, this is Romans 9, chapter 9, verse 17. For the scriptures saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
All the earth. That's why he's doing this. Is to show his power. He's going to display it. That's why it says Yahweh Shai comes in the glory, the beauty of the power of Yahweh. Just like a son, right, in the ancient world, if he was to be wed, he would be decked out by his father's wealth. So he would have decked him out. He would built him a house for his new wife. You know?
Yeah.
All that. Even the inheritance. When a father passes, he gives it to what? His son. So Yahweh Shai inherited it by him dying and being resurrected. Now he sits at the right hand of Yahweh, waiting to return to receive his reward. Just think about that patience. Over 2,000 years of waiting. See? But it's 2 days to him.
Right.
3 days to him, 3,000 years. Now go back to the Exodus 11.
Exodus 11.
Yeah.
Is that verse 7 or 8?
Yeah, you were down there.
Let's see here.
Go ahead and do 7.
7, okay, got it. But there's an Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So he just said, is a dog allowed to pretty much wag his tongue at the children of Israel? Hell no. Because he loves us and hates you. And so to show the difference between us and those dogs, the Edomites or the Egyptians, whoever the fuck they are, what's he do? He destroys their kingdom and we move forward into the future. See? So that's what's happening. The Edomites' kingdom is getting torn down.
Yep.
And we're getting built back up. We're the house of the Lord that got torn down and thrown into slavery. And now he's putting us back together brick by brick. And not with dirt, not with, wood, but with gold and silver, with this knowledge, with this oil, with this bread, with this wine. See, and all those things have value. That's what you got to understand. This truth is the most valuable thing in the world. There's nothing more valuable than it. When you get to the end, I've been listening to all these preppers and shit, and they said there's a day where you're going to run out. You're going to run out of food.
Yep.
You're going to run out of water. You're going to run out of places to go because you're tired and you're sick.
Oh,
But guess what? This truth never runs out.
God.
We have an everlasting future that's going to go forever. We'll never die.
God, this place will be done with.
Right. So that puts a difference between us and the heathen. By the grace and mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we have hope because we have faith, and that comes from above.
And all these thy servants shall come down unto me, and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee. And after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger.
Right.
And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt.
Hey, what did Moses just do? He cursed his ass out. He wasn't afraid of that Pharaoh. Remember, Pharaoh was God on earth. You couldn't even speak or have you killed. Moses was cursing him out. And this ain't his brother. Like in the movies, you know, they say, it was Moses' brother that held the throne.
Oh, yeah.
That's not true. You got to remember, he was gone for 40 years.
Yeah.
And when he came back, the angel told him, the people that want your life, they're dead. Just like Yahushua, when he went into Egypt, when Herod was trying to kill him when he was being born, the angel sent Joseph into Egypt to take his wife and his son to Egypt. And then the angel told him to come back after Herod died. He said, hey, that guy that wanted your life, he's no longer alive, come back. And that's what happened to Moses. He seen an angel, the angel of the Lord, which really goes back to Yahweh Shai, putting forth commandments of Yahweh. And he told him to go back. Go ahead.
And Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and the Lord Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land.
Right. Okay, now go to 12. Because they wouldn't let him go. Esau don't want to let us go. They ain't giving us no plane tickets. They're not giving us our land. And even if they did, they polluted that land. They spilled their semen on that land. They spilled blood on that land. They said they'd had homosexual sex on that land. So that land has to be purified. So they can't even give it back to us. And the only way to purify that land is to have the one that spilled blood in that land's blood spilled. And see, we can't do that. We're in this world minute. You know, we're very small thing. We're the poor. But our Father in heaven is sending our Savior, Yahweh Shai, and He's going to do it. Go ahead, Jacob.
This is Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Woo! Passover, right, is after the first moon of the month, right?
Yep.
The new moon is the beginning of the month, the first Sabbath of the month. So what, it just hit me right now when we just read 11 with 12. See, Moses just got pissed off and cursed out the Pharaoh, right?
Yep.
He said, and he had that faith. Do you think you could just lap at us? Right? You're just a dog to us. And when he took that on, the Lord brought forth this Passover. Because it says in Matthew 5 that the Lord came to do what the prophets say they would do. If we're his prophets, he's not going to bring us to shame. He's going to fulfill these prophecies, which he is doing. Moses said there was going to be a division created between us so that the world knows that the Lord loves us. If everybody's starving, who does the Lord love? But now if you got these Israelites that ain't starving, they're not in a trouble like everybody else. What made everybody think that the white man was God? that he wasn't in trouble like everybody else. He was the Savior. He had more. So for us to have that position in Jacob's trouble, we're going to have more than these heathen when they're going through straight hell.
Right. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house.
Right, a lamb per house.
And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. So
then now you can't keep that. Now you might go to the store and buy a piece of lamb, but that was supposed to be your own personal lamb out of your flock, the best of your flock. You don't even know if it's a female or a male that we get at the store.
Oh yeah.
So how could you be perfect?
Can't.
You can't. See? Yep. So that's why even getting the leaven out of the house, do it to your best ability. But realize, getting the leaven out your house literally ain't what's saving you.
Right.
It's in you understanding the actual salvation that comes through Yahweh Shai, which is by faith. And your works are to show your faith.
Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening.
Right. So that's dealing with the sacrifice of the animal. You were to hold it and actually take care of it for 14 days, make sure nothing happened to it, inspect it. Is there a blemish on it before you sacrificed it? Once again, did we sacrifice these animals? No. But remember, the Lord don't want sacrifice. He wants obedience. He was the final sacrifice. There is no greater lamb than him. You know, you're not going to get a lamb today you buy from an Edomite farm and hold it in a little den for 14 days and think that lamb's blood is going to make you any better than what the Lord's blood does. See, you got to be rational in this truth. The Lord done it. He done it. He said it's done. That's why all we got to do is hold fast. Hold on to these prophecies of his return. If you know the prophecies, you're not panicking. You already know this is exactly how it's supposed to go.
Right.
We're in the Passover.
Right.
Somebody's going to die. But we know what we got to do too. We got to draw near to Yahweh Shai. And you can't be of a corrupt mind, all right, near Yahweh Shai. Remember Judas Iscariot.
Right.
Right.
And they shall take.
And remember, he chose one and he hated the other of the same brothers.
Right.
So that's how it works. That's how it works with the Lord.
Yep.
The Lord will choose one and hate the other. It's his choice.
And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door post of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Right, so now you go into the Passover, you're eating roasted lamb, unleavened bread, because they didn't have time to sit around and wait for it to rise, so they pretty much had to make like a tortilla.
Yeah.
And the bread, the wine, and the bitter herb. And the bitter herb is to remind you of the bitterness. All right, of this truth, there's bitterness. In the being an Israelite, Israel suffered. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, It's bitter. This transition that we're going to go through is going to be bitter. So when I'm telling you that we're going to have more than the heathen, you got to remember, we still got to suffer.
Right.
We're going to get the kingdom through great tribulation. Just like Yahushua. But you know, Yahushua didn't try to cry, try to beg, none of that. He asked his father to have mercy on him. And the father said, this is what you got to do, son. But Yahweh is the one that held him in the ability of doing that. Because remember, nothing is done without Yahweh. So Yahweh kept Yahushua to fulfill his will. And then when he died, Yahushua raised him up. So we don't have to fear these things. We don't have to fear the vain imaginations of these heathen, because they know their time is short, that they're saying all these executive orders. You know, it's like a dog barking at you. That shit gets annoying, you know? Right. That's what Moses kept saying about Pharaoh. Yeah. You're like a fucking barking dog. Shut the fuck up. And the Lord put, what? His firstborn to death. Right. And not just his children, but all his livestock. Right. All his men of his house. Go ahead, Jacob.
Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire.
Right, so don't boil it. Don't even add flavor to it. Just cook it.
Spices.
Right.
His head with...
Because you don't need to add nothing to these scriptures. Right. You can't marry this book to no other book.
His head with his legs and with the pertinence thereof.
Right, so everything. The insides, the outsides, everything. So at this Passover, you would eat the intestines, everything, the brain.
And ye shall let...
Which means you got to get the whole truth.
And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire.
Right? So you had to eat it all.
And thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand.
Right? So why? Because the Egyptians, he was about to kill their firstborn. And then guess what's going to happen to them? You think they're going to just be happy about it? They're going to want blood. That's why he told them, have your shoes on, be ready to go. Go ahead, Jacob.
And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Most High Yahweh Passover.
See, it's Yahweh's Passover. And the Passover is coming from him passing over the Israelites. Instead of killing us, he showed a hedge between us and the heathen. He had favor on us. We were eating and getting ready to leave our slavery when the master of our slavery at that time was Egypt. They were losing. They were suffering loss, great losses. Their land was being filled with dead bodies. Not just of humans, but of animals. See, anybody, just think, not just Egyptians either. You had other nations that were doing business with Egypt. When they were in the land of Egypt, they didn't come under the blood. So the heathens that were outside the house of Israel, really outside the city, because we had our own city back then. You didn't live like side by side with your neighbor. You lived in a whole different city. There was segregation. So that the Israelites would have been separate from the heathen, and the rest of the heathen would have perished. Where are you at?
Exodus 12.
All right. And you were eating, where are you at in the verse? 12. Yeah.
12. Verse
12. 144. Right?
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord Yahweh, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you.
So the blood was the beyond your doorpost, so the Lord knew Israelites were in that house. You don't think he knew that there was Israelites in the house? Yeah, he did. But it was an act of obedience. That's what the thing is. We're obedient to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Obedience is greater than sacrifice. Because guess what? You could sacrifice like Cain. You know Cain?
Yeah.
He sacrificed, but did he sacrifice correctly?
Yeah.
No. You know, he didn't sacrifice
It
correctly.
wasn't a sacrifice.
Fit for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.
When I smite the land of Egypt, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord Yahweh throughout your generations.
Which that's what we're doing tonight. Alright? Once again, if you're out there and you know the truth, you hear this truth, alright, and you keep it simple, and don't make it a dinner, just make it quick. Alright? Eat the lamb, eat it all. Don't throw nothing in the trash, nor give any to a dog. Alright? Do not do that. You eat the lamb, eat it all with whoever's, your wife or your kids, or if you're with brothers. Alright? And remember, any man that eats of it in a wrong state of mind, the Lord, he's pretty much put that man to death. This is a fearful time, even though we're Israelites. Alright? The Lord is coming to take life. That's what he's coming to do right now. We want life. So be in his spirit, the spirit of prophecy, that these things are going to happen again. He's showing us, hey, he done it back then, he's going to do it again. He's going to plague Egypt just like he did in the past. 2nd Ezra 15. And if you ain't under his covenant, guess what? You're fucked.
Right.
Go ahead, Gafar.
Your generation ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
Right. You shall keep it by ordinance, by what he commanded us. Don't to add or take away. All right. But what is it? It's a memorial, thing to remind you of what? Of the spiritual side of this truth. The physical only operates by the spiritual moving. See, if you see something move, say you're sitting there and you see the door moving, or a chair move by itself. People get scared. Why? Because there's a spirit. So the physical is moved by the spiritual. So through the act of cleaning your house of leaven, through the physical, it's supposed to make you think in the spiritual. What is the meaning behind this? And what it is you're the house. Clean your house. Clean your mind of the evils of this world. Purge them. Look for them and throw them out. Because we have salvation in Yahweh Shai. We have hope. We're not hopeless. We just read when the Lord brought them out of Egypt, all the Egyptians gave them the gold.
Right.
Enough gold to build a golden calf the size of a fucking semi.
Yep. Silver.
Yeah. You see? But that ain't what it's about. Because guess what? Just like they got that gold, what they do with it? They did wickedly with it. Because they built that golden calf with it. See? Just like the fringes. Are we supposed to be wearing fringes on our garments? Yes. But guess what? If you're wearing them all the time, I guarantee you did some wicked shit in them.
Yeah.
You know, like shitting. You go shit, that's an unclean act. And fringes are a clean. Wearing fringes is a clean act. That's why you can't be saved in the carnal way. You got to be saved through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And he's spiritual.
Right.
You know? He is the Word. The Word is spiritual. In fact, get that real quick. Save where you're at in Exodus, but go to
What's that mean?
Romans 7:14.
Romans chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
There you go. See? The law is spiritual, but I am carnal, meaning flesh, sold under sin. You're a slave to it. You don't even get a choice in it. You're a slave to sin. That's why we need Yahushua. That's why I said you're going to try to clean all the leaven out your house, which you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But mark my words, there'll be a time throughout the week that you find leaven.
And you're breathing leaven.
You're breathing leaven.
Too.
It's in everything.
Yep.
Why? Because you were never created to save yourself. Never from the start. It was never anything the Lord intended for you to save yourself. It was intended for you to need Yahushai. Yahushai is our Savior.
On.